Electric cars are all the rage right now, and that is why today over here at Luxstatic, we are going to be taking a look at the 20 fastest electric cars in the world right now. Once a thing of the future, electric cars are slowly taking over the world, or not so slowly. They're actually very fast already, and most car manufacturers seem to have jumped on the bandwagon. That's why the future might just come earlier than we initially thought. Sure, there are still plenty of concerns regarding electric vehicles, with the most significant one being their overall range, but that's a breakthrough that will happen sooner or later. For those who are more interested in short-term goals such as acceleration and top speed, we have a lot of good news already. Thanks to the direct way electric motors deliver torque, EVs are incredibly fast, with 0 to 60 runs that could easily blow most supercars out of the water. But top speed is also an important factor to consider, as acceleration isn't everything if it can't be sustained for long periods of time. For both your and our curiosity, we've made a thorough research to find out which are the fastest electric cars in the world right now. Though most consider either 0 to 62 miles per hour times of top speed as the only metric, we've decided to take into consideration both top speed and acceleration when making our ranking, with a bias towards top speed should two entries prove to be equal. So let's drive right in, pun intended, at number 20 with the Rivian R1T or R1S. With a 3-second acceleration time from 0 to 60 miles per hour and a top speed of 125 miles per hour, the Rivian R1T R1S is one of the fastest electric vehicles on the market right now. It doesn't compare with the likes of Tesla, but considering its size, it sure is a feat worth mentioning. After all, we're talking about a high-performance pickup truck here. Rivian is a young electric vehicle company, and their trucks have already been featured in Charlie Boorman and Ewan McGregor's Long Way Up trip, tested in real-life conditions. The R1T is meant to be a pickup truck, and the R1S an SUV, but both built on the same platform. These vehicles feature a 135 kWh battery, which will offer a total range of 310 miles and a power output of 753 horsepower. Rivian is also offering a secondary battery pack of 180 kWh to increase the total range from 310 to 410 miles, but the power output will drop to only 700 horsepower. Moving on to number 19, we have the Genesis GV70. The luxurious Genesis GV70 is one of the most beautiful electric cars on the market right now, better and nicer in a lot of regards when compared to its rivals. And when you think it comes with a decent top speed of 150 miles per hour and a 0 to 60 run of 4.2 seconds, we'd say it's more than enough for most people's needs. Also important to note here is the attractive starting price of around $45,000, which makes it even better than the competition in the eyes of many individuals. Number 18, the Audi RS e-Tron GT. The Audi RS e-Tron GT takes the best of what the German automaker has to offer and gives it an electric powertrain, one able to reach speeds of 155 miles per hour and a time of 3.3 seconds for the 0 to 62 miles per hour run. Despite the low range of around 280 miles, the RS e-Tron GT compensates through the way it delivers the power. Progressive rather than instant, which makes driving the car a lot more comfortable than with most other EVs on the market. Number 17, the Kia EV6 GT. The Kia EV6 GT is a high-performance, gorgeous-looking EV that will surprise a lot of people. Depending on the configuration, it can get between 168 and 576 horsepower, which is more than most people would need most of the time. The 576 horsepower GT configuration will also benefit of all-wheel drive and two of EV6's larger battery packs, ensuring a total range of around 274 miles. When it comes to performance, the EV6 GT is capable of hitting a top speed of 162 miles per hour and a time of only 3.5 seconds for the 0 to 62 miles per hour run. Number 16, the Tesla Model 3 Performance. The 0 to 62 mile per hour run of only 3.2 seconds and the top speed of 162 miles per hour make the Tesla Model 3 Performance one of the most fastest cars for the time being. The most impressive aspect of all this is that the Model 3 Performance is designed to be a family car, not a racetrack beast, but it manages to do both just fine. And when you think about the pricing of around $64k, it makes a lot of sense. It's not for nothing that this is one of the most popular EVs on the market today. Number 15, Porsche Taycan Turbo S. Everybody knows Porsches are fast, and their electric variants don't seem to disappoint in this regard. The Taycan Turbo S is capable of reaching speeds of 162 miles per hour and a 0 to 62 miles per hour run in just 2.8 seconds. The model comes with a 93.4 kWh battery pack, which gives it a range of 235 miles, all-wheel drive, and a power output of 751 horsepower, which is more than enough to tackle all the fun you want behind the wheel. An interesting technical feature of the Porsche Taycan Turbo S is the 2-speed gearbox, with the first gear used for launching itself from a stationary position as fast as possible, and the second gear used for the rest of the drive. Number 14, the Faraday Future FF91. The Faraday Future FF91 is something you may have not yet heard about. It's not as mainstream as Tesla, but it's a very capable electric vehicle. Faraday Future is a startup that encountered quite a lot of issues which delayed getting its first EV model to the market. Despite their initial problems, the company has now managed to create their first electric car, the FF91, which is a SUV similar to Tesla's Model X, and one that looks incredibly good. The exterior is very impressive with superb clean lines, while the interior is luxurious and features a business class seating. When it comes to performance, the FF91 is able to reach a top speed of 155 miles per hour, but the fun part is that it's capable of doing the 0 to 60 run in under 2.4 seconds. Number 13, the Tesla Model X Plaid. Though faster than its rival above in terms of top speed with 163 miles per hour, the Tesla Model X Plaid is a tad slower when it comes to accelerating from 0 to 60 miles per hour, making it in 2.5 seconds, so 0.1 seconds slower. Nevertheless, 2.5 seconds is a very fast time. Model X Plaid is a big car, an SUV to be more precise, and to achieve those amazing figures stated before, it's a tri-motor powertrain. The one found on the Model S as well makes an unbelievable 1006 horsepower. But all that power is needed, especially since it's a 7-seater and it would weigh quite a lot when fully loaded. Number 12, the Nio EP9. The Chinese-built Nio EP9 clearly is far from being a family car. The 1,341 horsepower beast was developed with the input of the company's Formula E team and is capable of hitting a whopping 196 miles per hour top speed. The 0 to 60 mile per hour sprint time may not be as impressive since it's only 2.7 seconds, but overall the EP9 is one astonishing four-wheeled creation. Though designed to be fast if you're driving with moderation in mind, the car can achieve a range of 265 miles, which is a good figure for such a powerful electric vehicle. Number 11, the Lotus Evija. Lotus is one of those car companies that can't stand aside when important breakthroughs happen. Therefore, when the EV craze started, they jumped in and developed their take on electric cars. That's how the Lotus Evija was born. An EV capable of hitting top speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour and sprinting from 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. These figures are Lotus's estimates, and given the fact that the car is equipped with 4 electric motors, one for each wheel, and each one of them delivering 490 horsepower to the corresponding wheel, we might see better numbers when the car hits the road. The battery pack of 70 kWh seems quite modest, but it seems to be enough for a 250 mile range that Lotus aims for. Number 10, the McMurtry Speirling. The McMurtry Speirling is somewhat of an oddity. Its design looks like nothing you've seen so far in a car. It's pocket-sized Batmobile, and when we say pocket size, we really mean it. Its top speed may not indicate much at only 150 miles per hour, but its time for the 0 to 60 miles per hour sprint is an outrageous 1.5 seconds, making it the fastest accelerating car ever made. Sure, it's still in its prototype phase, but it seems that the company will base the production variant on it, which means you might be able to enjoy all that raw power one day. Designed and built in Britain, this 1000 horsepower beast is one of the most interesting vehicles ever made. Number 9, the Volkswagen ID.R. The Volkswagen ID.R isn't new, but it's still impressive even after a few years of EV technology evolution. The fact that most other manufacturers haven't yet managed to get the same performance figures does say something about Volkswagen's EV team. Sure, it's an electric track car, but the less than 2.25 seconds for the 0 to 60 miles per hour run and 170 miles per hour top speed aren't figures to be ignored. The only problem with this car is that it's still a prototype like the McMurtry Speirling before, and you won't be able to enjoy it as it isn't for sale, not for now at least. Number 8, the Maserati GranTurismo Folgore. With a whopping 818 horsepower and a top speed of 202 miles per hour, the Maserati GranTurismo Folgore is one very impressive and extremely silent machine, at least compared to its gas-powered brother, from which it can barely be distinguished. Even more impressive is that the electric variant of the GranTurismo Folgore is equipped with 3 electric motors capable of delivering 402 horsepower and 332 pound-feet of torque each. The total combined amount of horsepower is limited to only 818 due to the battery pack, but Maserati will unleash the car's full potential once battery technology evolves more. For those concerned, Maserati claims a 0 to 60 run in only 2.7 seconds. Number 7, Lucid Air. Touted as having the longest range, company estimate of over 500 miles, and the fastest charging time, the Lucid Air might become a dream come true. For some at least, since it's aimed at the luxury electric car market, with a price of almost $160,000 for the top spec variant, the Air Dream Edition. That huge sum will also bring with it the utmost comfort, a huge output of 1080 horsepower, a top speed of 168 miles per hour, and an acceleration time from 0 to 60 miles per hour of only 2.5 seconds. Number 6, Tesla Model S Plaid. The Tesla Model S Plaid is one of those cars that have proved the capabilities of EVs with a whopping 199 miles per hour top speed, under 2 seconds for the 0-60 miles per hour sprint, and probably one of the best equipped interiors. Another selling point for the Model S Plaid is that it can cover just short of 400 miles on a single charge, which is more than what most EVs on the market today are capable of. The car can make 1006 horsepower, which is a plenty of power for a family car that weighs more than 2 tons. At number 5, we have the Pininfarina Battista. The automobile Pininfarina Battista is the beauty and the beast at the same time, with a top speed of 217 miles per hour, a 0 to 60 mile per hour sprint in under 2 seconds, and a stunning design that will surely make heads turn wherever it will be spotted. With 4 electric motors and a 120 kWh battery pack, the automobile Pininfarina Battista will be able to generate more than 1,800 horsepower and have a total range of 280 miles. That if you drive it like you would a family van. The company claimed that only 150 units will be built, so prepare your wallet, your bank account, everything, since it will cost upwards of $2 million. Number 4, the Deus Vayanne. With a top speed of 248 miles per hour and a 0 to 62 mile per hour sprint in less than 2 seconds, the Deus Vayanne is one of the most impressive electrical cars you can dream of today. It's one of the big surprises of the industry, which made its entry onto the EV scene only last year at the New York Auto Show. This isn't your regular car, as it was designed to compete with the supercars of the EV world and has no room inside for a full family, maybe only if the family consists of 2 speed junkies. There's not much to say about it at the moment, since the first units are supposed to arrive only sometime in 2025, but the company says it will output over 2,200 horsepower. We know it's hard to believe that figure right now, but it sounds like that's the future we're heading to with electric cars. Number 3, Tesla Roadster. Tesla seems to be doing quite well. Its brand new Roadster is top 3 when it comes to performance, with a claimed top speed of over 250 miles per hour and a 0 to 60 run in 1.9 seconds. And when you account for the 620 mile range, we might have one of, if not the best electric vehicle by today's standards. To give you an even better idea of its capabilities, Tesla said that the Roadster will be able to hit 100 miles per hour in only 4.2 seconds, which is more than impressive, and it's not even dubbed a supercar. Number 2, the ASPARK Owl. The second fastest electric car in the world right now is the ASPARK Owl, a beauty that was unveiled back in 2020 and had time to prove the company's claims regarding its performance. The ASPARK Owl made it from 0 to 60 miles per hour in only 1.69 seconds and hit a top speed of 249 miles per hour. Despite this jaw-dropping performance, the hypercar will also have a range of 218 miles, which is a decent figure when you think how fast the car is. But since the battery pack is only 64 kilowatt hours, it makes us wonder as to how slow you're able to drive this thing to get that range. And top of our list at number 1, we have the RIMAC NEVERA. Combining raw power and impressive aerodynamics, the jaw-dropping RIMAC NEVERA managed to become the fastest electric car in the world right now, with a top speed of 258 miles per hour and a 0 to 60 sprint in just 1.85 seconds. The Croatian car maker has fitted a 120 kWh battery pack, which, if the car is driven gently, will push its total range to a good 403 miles. Unfortunately, it won't offer the same utility as a Tesla, since it's created more as a toy for the rich rather than something we'll need on a family vacation. These are the fastest electric cars in the world right now, and their specs will leave any speed junkie's jaw on the floor. Some of them are dubbed hypercars from the very beginning, but others are simply family vehicles that happen to accelerate extremely fast and reach astonishing top speeds. It seems like the gas-powered cars have reached their top limit when it comes to performance, and that the future is indeed electric.